Hey, what's up, y'all? Big Wooly here, and welcome back to another episode of our Seaopolis 2 Let's Play, where we are quickly narrowing in on the end of this pack, but we've got to get some things automated to make getting through the end of this easier. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so in the infamous don't get distracted woolly chest, I've got some things I've prepared. First things first, I wrapped up the Awakened Supremium so we can turn it in. This is kind of not needed because I've actually already crafted almost all the quest rewards we get from it, with the exception of this Mechanism jetpack, which we can give a try, but we'd have to go through making hydrogen to be able to fill it and speeding all that up. So, probably, oh, sorry, loud noises. I'm probably not going to get into that today, but these botany pots will actually come in handy. Now, as I was saying, I've already made some of the ultra copper botany pots just manually in between episodes, so I'll go show you that when we head into the compact machine here in a minute. And then as for this jetpack, I'm honestly just going to toss it into storage for now. We may play with that in a future episode, but we're in a water world. Do I really need a jetpack? So, next on the list, we have already made some of these creative essence manually. However, we can get them from a seed. So, we're gonna make that seed because that is going to make our lives so much easier having this being done for us on the tail end of this pack, because we are going to need a lot of this. One of the first things, oops, we don't want time in a bottle in there. One of the first things that we're gonna wanna do with this creative essence, once we get it growing, is we're going to want to work towards the creative botany pot, which I think has 10 times speed over a standard botany pot, which we'll use these creative essence for. So that seed is now made, and we're not going to get too much further into this episode without going and getting it growing, because it is going to take a while to get as much as we need for some of the next steps. So we want to get that going as soon as possible. I seem to have put up my personal shrinking device. Let's grab that. All right, so let's head into our botany pot compact machine here. And then this one's going to be a different setup than most of these. Let's see, what did I add in between? Like I said, I put some of these on creative ones, like all of these essence, because I automated that process over on the other side. I'll show you guys that. And then nether stars, because we needed those for the pots, so I went ahead and upgraded that one. We got uranium here for our new power, so that we're getting enough uranium to keep the reactors running and provide us that large amount of power, which we're probably going to have to make bigger. Oh, and we upgraded the inferium just to start cranking out some insanium essence, because we need the insanium for the tail end of this pack as well. All right, so we're going to come downstairs here, and we're going to get the new Ultra Hopper Botany Pot. And this we want to make some Insanium farmland for. Ooh, we got a bunch in there. All right, so let's grab that. I don't know why it doesn't add, it's got to be something in the mod pack code. It doesn't add in the hoe if it's not like a full health hoe, even though there's obviously a hoe in storage. I don't know. Weird. All right, so we don't necessarily need this thing to be outputting into our drawer network right away, so let's tuck it. We're gonna need to be able to attach to another drawer or the trim, so let's tuck it right here and get it going. Okay, and then that's gonna get us our creative essence going. I don't think this produces anything but creative essence. Okay, so what we're gonna do out of this is we're gonna come out of here, and we're going to put we need a wrench and an upgrade. Wrench. We're going to put a upgrade card with a round robin setting on it. And we are going to split it between putting some of the creative essence in a drawer, and we're going to send some of it through this compactor to get us more of the creative essence. What were we saying we needed? Upgrade, drawer upgrade. Oh, I put these on AutoCraft in between episodes too, so now you can just tell it, hey, I want the top tier, and bam, it makes them for us out of all of our auto-generated stuff. All right, so we're gonna set you to extract. Oh, we do have seeds in here. So I'm gonna have to deal with those seeds. Maybe a trash can to deal with them, not real sure. But we're gonna put this on whitelist and tell it only to take the creative essence for now. And then we're gonna tell it two places. So one, it can go to the compactor, the other it can go to this drawer. And if we give it two destinations, there we have it. So now it should alternate between the two. And then this one here. Oh, we need power on this, and I did not think about that because I kind of want to be able to pull. All right, let's just move it to the other side. Pretend like I did this right the first time. All right, we're gonna stick all this over here on the other side. You can extract, you get this card. And we put down the compactor and the drawer. Okay, and so now I should be able to bring some. If I bring power over, I'm not going to be able to walk through here. So let's just make a new flux point to put there. Point. Power this, put it on our network. Okay, so now missing inventory on the output side. Can it output to any side? That's the question. And then we're going to need one more drawer to put these into. Also tied into our network with the trim there. And hopefully this gets us... Okay, so no. It outputs to the bottom, and you're getting random stuff. So that's not right. Alrighty, so that was interesting. Apparently these will only output to the bottom, even though you can do something with this hammer. Maybe I need to read the book about how to change it. I just didn't. So we have it set up here. So we have our botany pot doing round robin with this upgrade between a drawer that's storing the creative essence and the flux compactor. The flux compactor takes 64 essence, turns it into 1 creative essence. Both of these drawers are touching our trim, so they will be now accessible. If we go look for them in here, you can see we have our 11 and our 144, both accessible from our wireless storage there because they're tied to the network with the frame trim inside our compact machine. The only thing we have left to deal with is the seeds. So what we could do on those, I was just thinking we can just trash can those because we really don't necessarily need them. What I'll probably do is take the ones that are in here, toss them into our inventory. That way, if we need them going forward, we have them, but we won't be stockpiling on them because I doubt we'll need more than 6 more of the seeds. So we will grab ourselves another upgrade here so we can set a filter. All right, and so there we have it. Only the seeds will go that way, and our essences will all go over here into our crafting setups that we want them to go into, and then we'll just toss these seeds into our storage to be stored on disk drives for when we need them later. All right, let's put up the other stuff we've got in here. We want to put an upgrade into which one? I don't think either of these really are going to need an upgrade. Probably the creative essence, if anything, because if we have 2,000 of these, I think we're good. And then there you have it. So this outputs down into the barrel. Sucks in here. We don't need a filter because the only thing that will be coming out of here is this creative essence. And then once we had one in here to lock it, nothing else from the drawers will get put into those. All right, moving right along. Put this stuff up. Now to the automating piece that I talked about in our intro. We're going to need to automate mekanism. So if we look down here in the creative matter quest line, which we've gotten some progress on, the next thing it wants us to do is to make some creative organic matter. For this, we don't necessarily need mekanism, but for this next step down, as you can see, we're going to be getting into needing atomic alloys and a lot of other things from mekanism, along with in this last quest line, down here as we start moving into these antimatter cores and our actual end of the project, or end of the chapter, which this chapter actually was added on after I started the pack, I do believe. But, you know, either way, we're going to need mechanism on automation, because we're going to need to make a lot for this step right here. As you can see, each of these is an ultimate control circuit, which is 2 atomic alloys, and an elite control circuit. So we're going to need the ability to make all of that stuff. I prepped a bunch of that stuff here in this chest. Let's just toss you in there, you in there. You all can go away. You can go away. You can go away. Keep you, because, you know, we always need that. And then let's grab this stuff out. Let's pull some cables. Go ahead and just make us another stack. And some importers. Gonna need more than that. Can you make 10? Cool. To get our inputs back into the system after we get our patterns set up. So before we go running over there, we have a couple machines we're going to need to automate for sure that I know just off the top of my head from automating mechanism previously. The main ones being the metallurgic infusers. We're going to need those for making our various types of alloy. So your infused alloy is redstone and iron. Your reinforced is diamond and infused. And then your next tier is enriched obsidian with the reinforced alloy to make the atomic alloys. And then if we go look at our circuits, the first one we're going to need to be able to make the tier 1 is redstone again, but osmium. So we'll be able to do that on the same machine as the infused alloys, be able to request both of those on one machine. And then each tier above that's actually just a craft with the appropriate alloys. And your control circuit, you know, your basic control circuit's the only one that has to be made in a machine, and the rest are just crafts. And then as we get into these others, we're going to need a chemical injection chamber, which I don't know if we can. Yeah, we can make that. So we'll get into that when we get to that part of the quest. Whether we make it that far today or not remains to be seen. So I'm trying to do this short and sweet because Fancy is, you know, not around for editing today, and this is Sunday, and I'm waiting till the last minute to record. So here we have it. This is no longer needed here because I connected it on the outside. I just hadn't pulled these cables because I was getting ready for what we were going to be doing today, because we need to be able to tie into our refined storage right there as we automate mechanism. So let's go ahead and get our 3 metallurgic infusers thrown down right here. And then we're going to throw some cable across the back and some crafters on top. Let's grab our wrench here to turn these facing down into our metallurgic infusers. Oh, missed it. There we go. All right, so we've got those facing down. The next piece we're going to need is we need the importers here on the bottom, and then we need to draw power across behind to make sure that these all have power. That wrench won't work, so we need this wrench. And we're going to need a upgrade on that so that it can pull enough power. Having stuff on AutoCraft is so nice. There we go. All right, so the next thing we need to do is we need to toss these importers on these machines. 1, 2, 3, and then a cable there to connect them up. And then if I had the jetpack on, I could get out of the water right now, but I don't, so we shall swim around. All right, so these are all tied in. Those are importers on the bottom. We will set the machines up to make sure that, you know, they are set to accept or to export from the bottom. And here we go. So this one has enriched diamond in it already. This one has redstone, and this one has nothing. So we're actually not doing too bad. I did forget, we're going to need another face on these for bringing in the stuff. We might just have to do it on the front and make it a little ugly, but we're going to need some exporters to fill these, exporters with crafting cards to fill these with the right type of enriched material. So first things first, we need to go get our recipes. We're going to need alloy. Yep. 1 iron gives me 1 infused alloy. That works, because that's how I'm going to run these recipes. Okay. Then you will just be, yep, for the diamond. Nice. And then you for that one. There we have it. 3 infused. Okay. And then we need our control circuit. We're also going to need to be able to tell the enrichment chamber here how to make all of the enriched materials we need for running this stuff. So we're not going to need carbon because we have steel, which is the main thing you use carbon for. We have steel on a seed, and we won't need to be making steel the hard way. But we are going to need enriched redstone. We're going to need enriched diamond. And we're going to need enriched obsidian. And so those 3 will be for our enrichment chamber, which we're going to need another importer for, which we made a bunch, so we'll just grab them all. And then we're going to need some exporters times 3 for these machines, along with 3 crafting cards. I have an automated crafting card, so let's do that too. Crafting, where are you? You're right here. Okay, so you know how to make those other 2, but you don't know how to make a crafting table, so let's teach it how to make a crafting table as well. You can tell what it knows because when you mouse over it, if it's blue, there's already a recipe. So since there's not a recipe for the crafting table, we're going to put that in there. And then we don't need a pattern for the quartz enriched iron because that is being grown for us in our botany pots in a seed. So we won't need that. So now we can head back down here, and this is where this is going to have to get a little ugly. Oh, did I get those exporters made? No, because I need 3 crafting. 1, 2, 3. Start. And then exporters. I requested them, but didn't pull them out, so we'll grab those. Now those exporters are going to go on the fronts because I just, running out of machine faces. And then we will clear this and put a cable right here. Nope, that is not what we wanted to put right there. Don't drop in the water. Thank you. Okay, cable. There we go. Okay, so that cable gets us connected on these faces. Now this one is enriched diamond. So we're gonna give you enriched diamond here. And now I know we don't have the metallurgy confuser set up yet, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and just set all these machines up and then make sure everything is set correctly, and we should be able to auto-craft at the end. So we'll grab out our crafting upgrades we were making there, and then we can tell this that now if you don't have the enriched diamond you need, you can request it from the system. And the system's going to know how to make it here in just a minute. Now this next one was the iron one, enriched redstone. Drag you over here, give you a crafting upgrade, and then you need enriched obsidian and a crafting upgrade. And then next to you, we're going to just, 1 more power, 1 more cable, 1 more crafter, and then we're going to go enrichment chamber. We're going to spin this crafter. And then we need to get a importer on there. So here we have it. We'll put these 3 in here. So it will be able to take refined obsidian dust and make enriched diamond, which we're going to need to fix that recipe too, and then these two. And so that now we need to clear the sides, and we can tell it auto eject on, that the bottom is going to be the output and the input is going to be the top. Okay. And we obviously had some stuff in our enrichment chamber already, so now it's pulling that out and taking it into our inventory. Now this one here, you are going to make the reinforced alloy. Wait, you don't make that. You make this one. And then you make this one. And the redstone one gets the basic control circuit too. Then now we need to set up the faces on these machines. Just clear them just to make sure you're good. And then we are going to go with the top being an input, the bottom being an output, auto output on. And then we need to look, so the color yellow, that one's the one we need on the front. So yellow, extra on the front. So when this pulls the enriched obsidian, as you can see, there was some in the storage. It pulled it, put it in here already for us. Now this one, same thing. Now there is, if we grab a, what is it, a config at mech config, we can get a configuration card, which I think we can make. And if we shift right click this machine, and then we right click, we can configure these machines the exact same for the faces. So you'll notice eject on, our 3 inputs we had already set, and it does that automatically. So you just shift right click the first one, and then right click the other 2, and it'll copy and paste that configuration, and that'll work for any mechanism machine. So if you're gonna be doing something like this and setting up a bunch of them, this configuration card could be a lifesaver. So now, in theory, if I tell it to make an atomic alloy, we should see it come through right there. There we have it. And so as you can see, this enrichment chamber is actually working on diamond right now because diamond isn't full yet. And so this is going to keep requesting it until this buffer won't take any more. And then it, as you can see, redstone's already full and this one isn't. So let's take care of that last recipe I said we needed to correct, which was obsidian dust, right? This kind. Not this kind, the other kind. We need to make this, refined obsidian dust, which we get from sending obsidian dust through the diamond metallurgic infuser. So let's go make that recipe, and we need to make a recipe for getting obsidian dust, which I believe is sending obsidian through the enrichment chamber. So we need the recipe for you. Yep, obsidian through the enrichment chamber, fine. And we have obsidian on autocraft. I do need to tie the obsidian to the network still for us, but it is on autocraft. And then here is this, which that is not what we want. We want it to send that through there. Yep, there we go. All right, so back in here, and let's put these in the 2 correct machines. So the enrichment chamber is going to get this one for the obsidian dust, and then our one that has diamond is going to get this, and then that will make our enriched obsidian dust. Now these machines are slow, so it's probably worth, honestly, it's probably worth putting all of these upgrades in our autocraft just in case we have to expand more. Skip the night. Okay, so at mech upgrade. Okay, so we're gonna want speed, which it doesn't know how to make the obsidian dust, or the osmium dust. So where do we get osmium dust? Crusher. Ooh, we have a pulverizer down there. Wait, does the recipe call for flint? Pulverizer. Oh, that's the catalyst. Okay, so how do I there we go. Shift click if you were wondering to remove it from the recipe. So there we have it. It'll take 1 osmium ingot and it will send it to the pulverizer, which we're going to put a crafter on. And that gets us everything for that recipe. So now we shall do the energy upgrade and the muffling upgrade. And then muffling needs steel ingot, which we can do in the pulverizer. So we will automate that pulverizer. And then for the energy, we need gold, which we should also be able to do in the pulverizer. Awesome. Cool. So these three are just crafts, and they can go in here. And then we need to come over here and set up the pulverizer on a crafter, which was actually, if you'll notice, there's a hole right here. So we'll go there. And then, are you already tied in? You are already tied in. You three can go right there. And then now the question becomes, can I say for you to make me like 20 of these? 20 speed, 20 energy, 10 muffling for now. All right, so they should come out in batches of 8 because that's how many the things will accept. So if we just put these energy upgrades in by shift right clicking the machines. Let's definitely put the speed upgrades in this enrichment chamber. Okay, so that gets everything here. We added speed upgraded. And the pulverizer can use, we can get some more upgrades in there, which, do we have those on AutoCraft already? The RF stuff? What is it? RF, or is it flux? There we go, yes we do. Increases process speed, so give me 3 of those. Okay. Then we can add these to the pulverizer. And that'll make the pulverizer even faster for us. And then one thing we can do to speed up some of these mechanism machines too is we can actually make them factories, which would be useful because it'll be able to process more than one of these recipes at a time. Did we get all the speed? Oh, we put all the energy. We did not put all the speed. Are our speed upgrades done? So that has it. That's going to get the things we need going. This will slowly start to fill up with extra enriched obsidian. And then once these are all maxed out on the buffers, it'll just craft them as it needs. To our quest line for today, we definitely want to mark some things off. So let's go ahead and make the creative organic matter, which is just a crafting recipe. Creative organic matter. Here we have it. And then if we tell it to go in here, should be able to just make one because we have the stuff, but if we look it up, we can also tell our system to make it. Let's just tell it to make, 2, which will make one more craft of the recipe. And so we have the creative organic spores and all of this stuff being auto-generated. So now that we have our creative organic matter, it wants us to make creative waste, which we get by sieving the organic matter. So we can just toss it into here and it's all already in our storage. And so there's the creative waste. And then now it wants us to make a chemical oxidizer. So here's why we automated. As you can see, we need all those atomic alloys and other things. So let's go check and see what we're missing. Well, we'll go ahead and control click and tell it to make those for us. And then we need a basic chemical tank. And there we have it. Everything we needed. Oh god, 2 chapter completions, 1 episode. So that gets us through creative matter. So the next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to make HDPE sheets, which is going to carry us into getting started with our solar neutron activator, our centrifuge, polonium pellets, SPS, so super critical phase shifter. For those of you wondering what SPS is, it's like in-game mechanism. That's where we're going to make our antimatter pellets. So we're going to end it here. I think we got through a lot. We automated all of the basic pieces of mechanism together, so you guys got to see that process. We got our pulverizer set up. We did some tidying. Oh, you guys are like, but Wooly, you said you'd show us the house. Okay, real quick. I said I'd do it. Okay. Two things, actually. We're going to show you these. So, figured out automating these setups. So this is where all of our resources are coming from. We are generating this cognizant organic fluid. It's being auto-made here. It's being run through the sifter at a slow pace so as to not overflow our storage, but we are just getting all of the pieces. If we wait and watch right here for the next cycle, you'll see this fill up with all the things you get from the final tier of that fluid, and that's all going into our storage. This just took having to pull out of the top of the machine. If you pull out of any other side, the machine doesn't reset properly for whatever reason, and it won't automatically pull, but putting a pipe on the top gets it, pulls the dust up here, and it will automatically, as you see, as there's room in this chest, it will craft a new one and send the stuff up. And that's all being automated and sucked back into the system. And then I found myself needing more dimensional shards. So to limit this, to keep it from using all of our resources, I just put this on a drawer on an external storage, so our storage can see this one drawer with the dimensional shards, and we needed all of those for Flux Networks. So same thing, once I figured out you could put the item pipe on the top, presto, it works. Redstone signal coming from the lever. It just runs automatically. So those are the two things that I automated there. And then if we head upstairs, this is our house. So I made us a little kitchen here. We got our knife, some cabinets. You can actually put things in these if you wanted to. With the skillet, which you can actually cook all kinds of cool foods that you can use the cutting board for from Farmer's Delight, so you can cut up fish into fillets and things like that. Made a little seating area, another little seating area. We don't have furniture in here, so I'm doing the best I can. And then the bedroom. So one of the neat things about the bedroom, pay no attention to the saw in here, is that these lights from fairy lights, you can actually turn them off. So you're like, oh, it's time to go to bed, but it's too bright. You can turn the lights off. So I thought that was rather neat. And then these are just pretend closets with nothing in them. But there you have it. Just getting started with a little bit of decorating on the house. And I think that is going to have to be an episode. So we made a good bit of progress on the quest line here. We got into making our creative organic matter and our creative waste, which we may want to automate that because we're going to need a good bit of nuclear waste. So I'll take a look at that in between episodes, let you guys know what we end up doing. And next time we will be getting through HDPE sheets and all the way through the SPS and making ourselves some antimatter pellets. And with that, it's going to be bringing us close to the end here. We're going to have to do some EMC stuff with which is interesting. But, you know, that's fine. We'll get our Philosopher's Stone. However, it wants us to make it. Oh, it takes an antimatter core. So we will get into that when we get there. But it's really going to... We may cover all this in one more 30-minute episode or two more. We're getting there. So once again, thanks for watching. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for future Minecraft content and ring that bell for notifications. We do stream live just about every Friday night, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode.